Okay, so I had a couple of interesting questions, and I figured I'd address most of them in this one video. The first question was about dirty tricks, things like eye gouges and kicking the groin and stuff, and how effective are these techniques really, the dirty techniques in general. Our thoughts on this are that, yes, they can be effective, but they're not effective in the sense that most people expect them to be. In other words, unless there's something backing it up in terms of real skill, there's not enough substance behind just the tricks themselves. Somebody who is only taught to eye gouge and groin kick and hair pull, I don't believe that they have the requisite skill level to be able to effectively defend themselves. Again, mindset is everything, and somebody that's really tough mentally might be able to get away with something like that, but it's not something that I would bank on. Really what I'm saying is, I think that you should have a level of skill, of a true fighting skill, before you start worrying about the so-called dirty tricks and the deadly moves and all that. One target specifically, the groin, I think is much overrated. I know one guy that actually was attacked twice in the groin, and both times it was not very effective. The reality, let me borrow you for a second. The reality, if I was to go and knee Ozzy in the groin, I'm not really targeting the testicles, but rather the front of the hip itself. In order to access the testicles directly, I have to come from underneath and up. So it's not something that you can easily knee him, nor is he going to stand there like a dummy and let me do it. So it's kind of a weird type of technique. If you're going to knee that area, understand that the straight line is effective, but not because it's targeting the groin, but because it causes the hips to buckle. In which case, what I'm targeting, if you look, he's got the inguinal notch, or the bikini line. Well, I'm aiming in between the bikini line in a straight line. So what I would do is, knee comes up parallel to the ground and then goes into him. I'd probably be hanging on to him when I do that, boom, to cause him to bend over. This gives me opportunity to do other things, right? So how then can we best target the testicles in an upward trajectory? Well, this gives me opportunity to introduce a couple of kicks, which I had been asked about, so this is a great way to address both issues. There's a kick called the scoop kick. If you just square up to me, Ozzy, that comes right from underneath and scoops back. Now again, Ozzy's never going to stand there and let me scoop kick him. So we got to set it up. A really nice setup for this kick, if we go fighting stance, is round kick, scoop kick combination. I step in, kick, scoop kick. It works because it buckles the knee and opens the hip. Again, fighting stance. And then let's do it from this angle. So we're fighting here, and I kick, opening him up, and there's my scoop kick. Obviously, when you're practicing this, you want to be real careful. If you look at the knee, let's look at it this way. Okay, go ahead and fighting stance. The knee can resist force this way pretty good. He can resist that. But once the force starts shifting this way, it starts to buckle the hip, and that's what I'm capitalizing on. Another very interesting kick is the reverse round kick. Face me. Go ahead and switch your stance. There we go. Okay, the reverse round kick works very well when you have a mixed match lead. Okay, he's in this case he's in a southpaw stance. He's probably doing that to block off my ability to give him an effective round kick from the outside. It's particularly if he continues to zone to the outside here, getting away from my cross. No worries. From this fighting stance, I have the opportunity to give him reverse round kick. How does that work? Well, I shuffle in, kick there, opening again the knee. So I shuffle in, kick, there's my scoop kick again. This is a great way when you have mixed match leads to throw an unorthodox technique that most people are not expecting. It hits pretty hard. It hits surprisingly hard. And if you're wearing heavy shoes, you can even use the point into the thigh itself. It's a great technique. Not just for scoop kicks, it sometimes tends to draw their hands down. I kick him here, he drops his hands, bang, bang. At which point I might still get the scoop kick, so you have a couple of opportunities. one last great way to apply the scoop kick. Ozzy gives me a push kick to my stomach with the, go ahead, with the rear leg. I scoop around, and there's my scoop kick there. So there's a couple of ways to apply the scoop kick. We saw the reverse round kick. I gave you my thoughts on the dirty techniques, and we may address eye gouges and stuff in a future volume. Until next time, I'm Tony Torre. This is Ozzy Melendez with the Miami Arnis Group. Thank you for watching. Take care.